Welcome to this Mindful Monday. We're looking at the mindfulness of dharmas and looking at the truth. And one of the concepts that we rarely talk about is death, and that is going to be this topic. Welcome to Mindful Monday. This episode 7 is about understanding the I and the pitfalls associated with it. So we're going to look at what is the I, and then the teaching of anatta, as Buddha's teaching of anatta, and what the pitfalls of the I and understanding anatta. And then do a meditation practice on it. So what is the I? Who am I? Very profound question. So the thoughts of the mind and the sense of the I are not two separate events. We exist only because the mind thinks us into creation. Yeah, Rodney Smith, stepping out of self-deception, the Buddha's liberating teaching of no self. And liberating is the word. If we can get this and understand it, we become liberated. So it's the most profound question in the universe. Who am I? What am I? What is my identity? So our identity is this system of memories, experiences, feelings, thoughts, relationships, and values that define each one of us, define who we are. It's the stuff that makes up a self. It's the 5 aggregates. Identity is a critical component of understanding who we are. Sadhguru, you're not the body and you're not the mind. So what was the teaching of anatta? And why did Buddha hold back on this teaching for many years? Let's look at where it fits in. So there's 3 marks of existence. There's anicca, impermanence, dukkha, dissatisfaction, suffering, and then anatta, no soul. It's one of the 3 fundamental teachings. So within these 3 characteristics, we can start to see it's all linked together. So true self is kind of larger and it's more essential than the personality or the individual. So within a yogic context, Kundalini Yoga, Satnam means true identity. It's coming back to the true self and seeing things clearly who we are. So he was doubting to share this teaching purely because we cling to the I and through self-preservation as a defense mechanism. So people aren't really want to hear it. That's what Buddha thought. He thought, no one was going to want to hear it. And sure enough, when he first shared this teaching, the first person didn't want to hear it because he spoils all the fun. He spoils the delusion. You become disenchanted with the enchantment of the self. But then he thought, actually, no, some people are going to get it. And it's the analogy of the lotus pond came to mind. So some are in the mud, some are just poking through, and some are blossoming out. Some people will get it. I will persevere with it and continue to teach it. So let's look at some of the pitfalls if we don't get this this teaching, and when we do cling to this ego, we blow it up, and this I, clinging to the I. So it's delusional. We become delusional. We're self-grasping to the ego, increases your self-centeredness because it's all around you. You become inferior or superior to others. So if you're blowing the ego up, you might become arrogant and superior to others. But then if you're dumbing yourself down and making yourself small, being inferior to others. And it's all a delusion because the others live in your head. Your mental health suffers, and happiness is all dependent on external conditions, increasing pleasure and reducing pain, which is constantly changing. So you're never going to actually reach that state of inner peace. So attachment to the I just leads to an increase in suffering. Here's the benefits of non-clinging to the I. You become free from self-judgment. You actually start to be kinder to yourself and let go and just forgive yourself. You can start to enjoy the show from the observer's view. You start clearly seeing on life from different perspectives. This gives you the freedom. You become free from comparison with others. Don't really matter what other people think. You become accepting of yourself. You reduce suffering and increase well-being. You increase happiness overall and inner peace. Most importantly, you'll be able to let go at the time of death to all those things that you're clinging on to. So here's the framework for recognizing anything that comes up during the meditation with the I. Recognize it, acknowledge it, investigate it, and then non-identify with it. Let's do a meditation on anatta. So getting into a comfortable position for this meditation, either sitting on the floor or on the chair with your legs uncrossed, keeping the back nice and upright, and just half closing the eyes, placing one hand on top of the other, just resting your hands on your thighs. Taking a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, relaxing your shoulders. On the next inhale, scanning the body from the head all the way down to the toes. Now checking in with the mind, and just note what's there. Putting any worries or concerns aside, like taking your shoes off before entering a building, just putting them aside while we set our intention for this meditation practice. To get present to mindfulness of truth, the Dharma, the Buddha's teaching. Getting present to the true nature of the I, the true nature of who you are, what our identity is all-encompassing, a system of memories, experiences, feelings, thoughts, relationships, and values. This is what makes up a self. You are not the body, and you are not the mind. There is no soul. Your true self is larger and more essential than your personality. To self-grasp to the ego is delusional. You become inferior or superior to others. And this is not the true nature of reality. When we cling to the I, we increase our suffering. Getting present to the benefits of non-clinging, being free from self-judgment, and you start to enjoy the show from the observer's view. You're free from comparison with others. And there is a reduction in suffering and an increase in well-being as you start to accept yourself and those around you. And most importantly, you increase your happiness and inner peace. And then when the time comes, you're able to let go of this existence peacefully. Get present to the true self, Sat Nam. Getting present to the ultimate truth. Seeing things clearly as the way they are. The reality of nature around us. The next inhale, just scan the body from the head all the way down to the toes. Now just check in with the mind and just note what's there. What mind state are you in? Is it different to when you started? Just note what it is and then get present to the felt experience, that mind state. And then perhaps investigate where it's come from. And then just letting go. Getting ready to open your eyes and come back into the room. Now just note your experience. So what feelings came up when we were talking about the self, the non-self? What was the felt experience? And if you have any questions, please get in touch. Here's the invitation to do the work. Let's get present to the teaching of anatta. Investigate the benefits of non-clinging to the I and watch the Dharma talk on anatta. And here's some of the resources lists so you can watch those and listen to a podcast on it. Next topic is understanding the dukkha, the suffering, which is one of those three of existence, types of existence.